Right, I'm here by the side of the road picking up my chestnuts here. Look at that. Oh, I can't even grab that sucker. Look at the size of that one. They're just now starting to fall. There's one in here. Oh, that one already opened and fell right out. There's another one right there. Oh, I can do that and just get them right out. Yeah, look at this. There's one good one in there. All right, I picked a bunch of them so far. A lot of them I could break open right on the street there without taking the whole thing. But this is just the first droppings of it, and that's the tree there. Look at all the burrs on that thing. There's so many this year, and it goes from way over here. Let me zoom out. It goes from here all the way across, out to here. Look at that. It's just loaded with burrs this year. And I've been walking these streets for 30 years, and that tree, let me zoom up on it. I know it's going to be hard to see. One of these days, I'm going to go into this house and ask if I can walk back there and measure this tree back there. But that's the tree right there. It's hard to tell how big that is, but it's huge. So I've been walking these streets for 30 years, almost 30 years, and that tree has been that big the whole time I've been walking past it. I'm guessing it's 50 feet tall. Yeah, probably 50 feet tall and probably just as wide, 50 feet across. Easy. And it's just getting choked out by all these other trees. But these branches here are like leaning out this way towards the sun. I can't tell if there's any branches going in the yard that way. There's some down low I can see through there, but up top, no. The high ones are all coming this way. And on the trunk there, I'll get closer. Let's get closer to it. Across the street here. Yeah. There you go. Look how big that is. That thing is huge. I'd say down there at the bottom, that trunk right there, it's got to be 30 inches left to right in diameter, 30 inches in diameter across. And look at the size of it doesn't have one main trunk. It's got like 3 of them. But that trunk just there, off to that side, it's got poison ivy growing it up on that way. Man, that one's at least 2 feet. This one here is 18 inches. The one in the center, man, that's another 2 feet. And then 2 big branches going out this way. Yeah, I would cut all this down around this tree, man. I don't see any signs of blight on that tree. That crotch there of that tree with those 2 branches has got to be 36 inches right there. That crotch right there. I can't even, if I could go in there and see, but I don't know how big the main one would be, where that main other tree is coming off of there. It's huge. It might even be bigger than I can tell. It might be bigger that way, wider. It's just huge. And I don't think this house. I don't think this house knows what they got in there. Yeah, look at the size of that, man. I don't know if it's a hybrid or Chinese, but it's so big. I'd be surprised if it's not an American chestnut. All right, got my bag of dirt. Today's date on it. Put a little water in there because the dirt's a little dry. Let's put all these chestnuts in. I'll count them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. All right, 37 of them off that first bunch. All right. I just picked up the second batch of chestnuts here today, and they look really nice, really nice. But what I also did is grab some leaves, some twigs that were on the ground. I couldn't go in the yard and take branches off, so this is all I could find on the ground from the tree. So I'm not sure what kind it is. It could be American, European, Japanese, Chinese, a hybrid, whatever. But I've got the paper here from the American Chestnut Foundation. And this you could take a screenshot of this. Let me move out of the way. Take a screenshot of that, and you could see the information that they want. And what I have to do is go down the bottom here and mail to my closest area there to my house, and they'll tell you. I guess they'll mail back to you or email or something back to you and tell you what kind of tree it is. Every time I look it up online, it seems like everyone has a different opinion on which a Chinese chestnut and which one is American. I don't know. So I'll say whatever they say. That's what I'll go with. But this tree's got so many nuts there that I'm just curious to find out. But some of these babies, either the ones with the zip ties, see the zip ties sticking up out of the pots, either with the zip ties or without them, are the ones that came from the tree that I'm getting tested. So one of these seedlings here, one batch of them, are babies from that tree. So we'll see what they say. All right, let's put this second batch in here. Let's see what we got. 2, 4, 44, and 46. So 46 chestnuts in this bag. Second bag. Okay, we're in the kitchen, and I pulled out my crabapple seeds, and I looked at it, and it was like, oh man, these are just rotting. They're no good. So I opened them up, and let's see. There are actually some. Like look at this one right here. I'm gonna try to get close to it. See that? That one's good. And I think this one's starting to split open. So there are some that are germinating. That one right there. So I'm going to put these in the pots right now before they rot. And which one was this? Hold on. This is the red. Oops. So this was the orange. So I have a couple orange, and I think these red ones here, these were good too. Oh yeah, look at that one. Okay, so I'm gonna get these into some dirt. I'm just gonna take this whole paper towel. I don't know how many seeds that was. I think it was like 3 or 4, but you can see that one. And we're just going to cover them just like that. Whole bunch right here. Because I think there was some in there that looked like it was germinating. I got the orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and each one, there's about 5 seeds in each one. So these 3 aren't packed, but this is the red, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the red. I got more pots over there on that side, so let's put them in. Look how good some of these reds are. They're pretty nice. Okay, looks like I got 5 containers of the orange, and I did 6 of the red. And I checked these. It is the end of January. January 20, I don't know, 6th, January 27th. Let's take a look here in the plant room, see how things are going. We got 2 rows of chestnuts. These came from my neighbor's yard. I believe these are a hybrid, American and Chinese hybrid. I'm not sure, but they are starting to come up. 1 there, 1 there. There's 2 there. That little one's coming up. Yeah, they're all starting. But there's 2 chestnuts in each one. 8. There's 16. So there's 32 chestnuts. And let's see. Yeah, see, they're coming up. There's a little red stem sticking up. That one's coming up. And then these are red and orange crabapple trees from the farm. And there's a bunch of seeds in each one. I got to thin them out. Whatever tree grows the tallest, I'll just nip the rest of them off. But orange and red, or either one, I don't know. Which ones are these here? These are the orange. So that's the red crabapple trees. Down here we've got more cherry trees, pineapple from the grocery store. There's my oak trees. More cherry trees mixed in with clover. What's interesting here is it's red. There's red and white clover. I use dirt from the yard, so it's coming up both. I think this is basil. These are all chestnuts here that are starting. I just planted these today. There's probably about 50 chestnuts in here. I just covered the whole top of this with the chestnuts and covered it with dirt. So this whole pot's going to all have to be broken up and separated once it gets bigger. Then these 2, same thing. There's 2 chestnuts in each one. But these came from my Chinese tree, my real big giant tree. Then we got all our starter plants. Cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers. And then outside, I think we've got romaine lettuce, picking lettuce, and I think spinach outside in the trays. But yeah, things are starting to come up. All right, let's do a little update. We're now in April, to mid-April, and look at the room now. Wow. All right, let's get a rundown of what we got. Romaine lettuce. This all started from seed. We go through a lot of romaine lettuce. Our strawberry plants. In here we have red fife wheat seeds. This is an experiment I'm doing in the house with wheat berries.
But we're going to go outside later in the video, and I'll show you what I'm doing there. Check out our pineapple from the store. We're actually getting a pineapple on that. And here's our seed starter, where we start them. After they get big, we put them in these 1 gallon pots right there. This is 2 different types of pumpkins. They're not coming up yet. We just did this a couple days ago. Pickle lettuce, spinach, and we already cut all this. We already made salads from this. This is regrowth. You can see we've had leaves like 8 inches long off here. Just come and cut it as we need it. All right, chestnut trees. On this side of the room, these are the American hybrids from my neighbor's yard tree. He has trees, hybrid trees, and they're looking beautiful. They're so nice. They're probably 18 inches tall, 2 per pot, and these are the same. I put these, they're in the little tree tubes there, and these are in 3 gallon pots because some of them I hand pick them to use them for 2-year-old trees. As a seedling, you get $10 to $15 for a seedling this year, right now. Somebody will buy it right now, plant them in the spring. If you hold them for 2 years, you can get $50 a tree. So, let's see. Miss Oxford 821's got, I don't know what kind of herb that is. Cilantro, I don't know what it is. The oak trees, of course, they're doing good from Arizona. Now, these trees over here, these chestnuts are from the big tree on the street. These are pure 100% Chinese chestnut trees. I did send that paperwork off to Penn State, and they emailed me back and said it's 100% Chinese tree. So that's their hybrids, American Chinese, and these are pure Chinese. And people are like, oh, you got a Chinese chestnut. Well, it's good because they're blight resistant. So if you're planting chestnuts for a food plot for deer or for the chestnut just to eat them, these are bigger trees and they produce so many nuts, like you don't have to worry about a disease. Where pure Americans, they'll get the blight and probably die. Hybrids, more chance not to die. Bigger nuts on those. But the Chinese, for food plots for deer, just plant Chinese. Don't even worry about it. Just plant Chinese and you'll have nuts. This stuff here is more seasoning for cooking. I don't know what it is. I forget what it is. But it smells like pizza. You move it like that and the whole room will start smelling like pizza. These are all trees coming up here. These are all Chinese ones here. And then what do we got here? Okay, so a row of sweet peppers. I think they're red peppers. Jalapeno. Okay, so in that tray right there are heirloom pumpkins, Connecticut Field and baby sugar pumpkins. But they take a long time. I think they're 120-day pumpkins. In our growing area, it gets cold, so you're beating the clock. If you don't get good rain, you're beating the clock to try to get them to turn orange. So this year, I've got hybrids. They're not heirloom, they're hybrid, but they're 80 days. These are right here, this one. Yeah, I'm pointing wrong thing. This is cucumbers, this, pumpkins. Cougar pumpkins. These are 80-day pumpkins. They're just starting to come up. So within 80 days, you'll have an orange pumpkin. So that's what we're going to try this year, some hybrids. Of course, tomatoes. We've got 2 different types of tomatoes. Blue Beach, and then these kind here have like a 6-pack of tomatoes. I don't know. More romaine lettuce. Look at this romaine lettuce. It's going to get that really big stalk right there in the middle, but that's looking good too. All right, these are the you saw in the video. These are all the crabapple trees. The red and orange crabapples. Looking really good. Some pots had more seeds in them than others. They'll get thinned out, but I'm real happy how they turned out. I've got more trees than I can plant. All right, so everything in here is doing well. Let me go outside. We're going to check out something else. All right, I've been out here working in the garden. First thing I did is, I didn't film it, but I had to rake it all. It looked like that from all these pine trees, arborvitae above it. So I had to rake it all up. Then I tilled it, and then I put manure in it, tilled it again, and then I put lime in it and tilled it again. So it's been tilled 3 times, and then I raked it out smooth, cleaned it all up in here, kind of leveled it out. And what I'm putting in here is wheat. This year, this whole back, I'm going to put wheat, and that is red Fife wheat, F-I-F-E, red Fife. It comes from the Ukraine. It's a really old heirloom type of wheat, and it doesn't have like the bristly top, the pokey bristly top that you're used to seeing. So it's a very old type wheat, and I'm going to try to put that in the back here and see how it does. All right, that's it. I had the little container over there, and I just sprinkle it by hand. That's what it looks like. I put it down kind of heavy, and I think, well, the birds are just going to pick this clean. So I'm going to go over it with, let's see how this works here. With a regular rake. I don't want to bury it too far, and I don't want to pull the dirt. Yeah, so I think I can bury it with just this real light. So let me do that. All right, that's it. I use my upside down tomato cages as a bird deterrent, and any of my old tree cages. When I'm planting new trees, I use them to protect them, and I use them so birds can't land in here. The smart ones will figure it out, but most of them that just want to swoop down in here, they'll be too afraid to do it. So I could still see a lot of seeds just sitting around on top there, but I think with a little bit of rain, it'll pound them down into the ground, and there's enough in there to where it should be fine. And over here, I'll plant something in the front. I'll plant something smaller plant or something. Uh-oh, there's rabbits down there. You better go get those rabbits. Get them rabbits. Doggy, get them rabbits. Go get them. Get them rabbits. All right, so here's the wheat experiment. This is the second time I had to plant it. I hand broadcast all the berries in there, and the next day the birds ate them all. I came back here and there's a whole flock of birds, all different kind of birds. They wiped it clean. They were actually digging in it, scratching in it, wiping it clean. And then squirrels came, and squirrels came back again. This is all dig marks from squirrels trying to find them. So I had to get my tree enclosures and just put the tree stuff over top of it. But this is the second time I planted the wheat in this back part, and I can still see the berries in there. So they even went in between there. They picked the berries clean that were in between here. The birds were hopping around in here. So we're gonna check back on this. This video is too long already, but we'll come back and see if this wheat is growing. It's an heirloom wheat. I really want that to work out. Blackberry bushes. The blackberry bushes are actually growing. They're sprouting back from in the container. That's pretty crazy. All right, check this out. Our little planters here. The squirrels come in here and dig. In here there's asparagus. Asparagus should be coming up here pretty soon. It's still frozen. Some of it's still kind of really cold. But check this out. I wanted to show you this. This is a Brussels sprout plant from last year. Look at all the Brussels sprouts on it. It survived in this pot. It did take a beating. Some of the leaves fell off. They froze. But this thing stayed alive. I cannot believe it. It was so stinking cold this year. And it looks good. It looks like you could eat this thing right now. I can't believe that thing has made it. And that's an heirloom one. So if we ever can let this go to seed, I'm keeping the seeds off of this sucker, because this plant is a trooper, man. I cannot believe it. I didn't even touch it. I didn't do anything to it. When all the other plants died out, that thing just looked like a half-dead stalk throughout the winter. And it's come back. I just planted this today. This is very, very prickly. It's a wild raspberry, but raspberries are great, but they got thorns all over it. That was growing in the rocks. on the side of on the garage, the back garage. It was actually growing out from underneath the garage in the rocks. So I saved that and planted that. So we'll see if that lives too.